Yes, come on. Australia beats Oman. Unbelievable scenes. They did it against the odds, and it's brought to you by these guys.
Now delivering in 10 minutes.
Yes, unbelievable. My close personal friends now supporting the channel. People who have seen the internet might have seen that happened today. Or did it happen at all? What was said, that's between me and my close personal friend. But Pezza, that's neither here nor there. Australia have beaten Oman. It was a game that went for 40 overs. It went for way too long. It is 12:30 a.m. New York time, and we've put a shift in, but no more than Australia put a shift in. Australia, our heroes, our hard-working Australian heroes have beaten the evil Oman. Thoughts?
Thanks, you guys. I'd like to dedicate what we're about to record to our Australian listeners and to a lesser extent the viewers.
Would you say the brethren?
Well, yes, because this is the start of a World Cup.
Yeah.
I'm actually concerned that we've won, and I was happier when we were struggling early on in this game against Oman, who came with their wily, gnarly, left arm orthodox into the wicket spin, etc. You know, questions abounded from Australia during this game at the start. Why aren't we none for 500 against these coats whose nation we've never heard of, right? Now, we cobbled something together through the work of Stoinis, through the work of Warner. It doesn't matter what name it is.
Against names that are trivia questions.
It doesn't matter. Stark did his thing.
Let's
we
disrespect
we
them.
win the
Yeah,
game.
come on.
We're going to disrespect them so much as to not even tell you the score of this game.
I don't even know. Couldn't tell you.
Truly, the news line out of this game is that we weren't threatened.
Yeah.
Australia needs to be threatened early on in World Cups. Like, I am concerned after this game, right? But let me go with the first news item then.
Okay.
Thing one.
Yeah.
And I'm just calling it Cummo.
Interesting.
Where was he?
Yeah.
Now, okay, reliable news sources are saying resting.
From what? Winning everything?
Is resting okay in Australian cricket now?
Who the fuck's Nathan Ellis?
Yeah. And the thing about the work that George Bailey and Andrew McDonald are doing, Tony Dodder made, some may say, okay, to be fair to them, they've won everything.
Would you say Brad Hodge, mate?
I will say Brad Hodge, mate.
Yeah, okay, mate.
Might have looked at the ground today, so good 6 again.
Well, it was a good 6 inning run, mate.
But what they fail to recognise is the impact on the nation when Pat Cummins is wearing a bib. Now, I haven't seen that since 2011 when the stresses came into play.
Yeah.
Now, when those stresses came into play, I was like, oh, what could this be?
Yeah. Oh, imagine the ceiling of this.
Exactly.
I'm thinking Sistine Chapel ceiling.
Exactly.
Like unbelievable ceiling.
But Cummo's out, and Australia tunes in.
At 10:30 a.m.
10:30 a.m. So unemployed people are watching the game and they're seeing the skipper that has had the most propaganda around him for years in the bib, and a guy called Nathan Ellis, who the experts are saying is the best T20 bowler
the best T20.
knocking around.
What's his name again?
Exactly. I've forgotten already. What does this mean?
What about solar panel Pat?
So that's the first thing I want to know.
Yeah,
I want to know. Now,
and also it disrupts the rhythm of naming the bowlers in the order that we know.
What are commentators meant to do?
Yeah.
How are you meant to say it in the order?
Star commentators.
Star commentators.
Yeah.
The big three.
Yeah.
Ellis? What's this?
Yeah.
Warren Ellis? Nick Cave's offsider?
Yeah.
What's this? Is he a relative?
Ellis, Hodge, Bailey. That's not. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
It feels
as much.
off. Now, mate, in terms of analysis, maybe that's the right way to play it because maybe that gives us something to be worried about.
Yeah.
Australians need to be worried about our prospects
Something at the
for
beginning.
the first game of the World Cup.
And here's what they're thinking. They're looking at Pat Cummins not listed and they're saying, what channel is it on?
Yeah.
That's the first question they're thinking.
In fact, they don't know who's
They don't
playing.
know who's playing because they're
tuning into this. We are the
who
rights
played?
holders.
Yeah, was that today?
Yeah.
Jeez, the Swans are playing well.
Yeah. Australia beat Oman.
Yeah.
I remember that show, Man, Oh Man.
Warner, Chad Warner, you mean? Can they keep him?
That's the second thing.
Okay.
That's the second thing.
Okay, so what you're saying, like Pat Cummins not playing, are we worried? And Australia says, what channel is it on?
Exactly.
Next
Thing, Warner runs.
Yeah. That's an issue. That is an issue.
Against the backdrop of the vociferous opponents.
Yes.
To his selection.
Yes.
As now the top run scorer in Australian T20 eyes.
Whilst we got an opportunity to see
that's right.
who he was
but
passing.
We could have had Jake Fraser-McGurk, who might have scored 21 off 2.
I tell you, he was a good bloke. Sir Donald Bradman. Okay? Now, there was a gentleman and an esquire, and good at property, flipping his house at the moment, as we've seen. Airbnb-ing it.
So we have an Asian Middle Eastern team there and thereabouts on the the map, the globe, if you will, and I know you will, and they turn up with the full gnarl and wal of the of the spinning kind of disciplines that you can offer to us chesty Australians, and George Bailey, Tony Dodemaide, Andrew McDonald selected David Warner for exactly this situation.
Yes, that's right.
David Warner can hit left arm orthodox spin.
Experience.
And he was offered it, and Australia was struggling.
Yep.
Hetty struggled, Mitch Marsh struggled, and David Warner made 50 off 50. Who even cares what he made? And gave it a foundation for...
I just say, it's a troubling day for Australians. First of all, the game was played on a Thursday morning. We don't know where to find it.
Yes.
We don't know who's playing. We don't recognise the names. And then the main villain, D. Warner, scoring runs. Now, it hasn't happened on our shores, so has it actually happened is the big question.
Yes.
But unfortunately, that has solidified the experience of someone playing against a nation where I couldn't really tell you where it is.
Yes.
If I'm playing, millionaire who wants to be.
Yes.
And that's how I call it. On a map, point to it.
Exactly.
Mum's life on the line.
Yes.
That's a separate game.
Yes.
I'm probably struggling to tell you where Barbados is and also where Oman is. Now
which is our right.
And also it's their problem. Let's be right about that. Now David Warner scores runs and now I'm thinking, now the villain is succeeding.
Yeah.
Is this what the nation wants? Well, luckily no one can find it, so that's okay.
It is a game of 4D chess with a nation that Bailey is trying to play.
When's the semi-final?
Yeah. I think he has made us sufficiently upset, though, because Cummins is in the bib, Warner's scored runs at a slow rate, and we've played against a team called Oman, and we've failed to name one player from their team, which is
Could the Socceroos beat them is the issue.
Okay, it's time for one now. Get now. Big basket now. Let's go.
Woo!
Papi. He goes.
Here's another issue, Pezza, because a lot of people didn't want him in it. People don't understand the vibe that is this Australian team. People don't understand when they're lobbying up on a beach during fucking press conferences with their best friend Usman Khawaja for the rights holder that's presenting and indeed broadcasting this athletic event, this world class athletic event, and they don't understand that the entire thing is fucking vibes. Okay. Sure, Marcus Stoinis scored the highest ever successful individual score in a successful run chase. I said successful too many times, but I'm just telling you what it is. He's successful, okay? Now, that's happened at 2 in the morning in India when I don't care about it because that's round 4 of the AFL or round 5 of the NRL, which is, depending where you are. Now, does that mean anything to me unless he scored runs for the Melbourne Stars? No, it doesn't. But he has contributed significantly with runs and wickets and vibe in the fucking team, Sam.
And
I'm sorry.
And I think if you're tuning in for the first time, then see you later. But by the same token, it's been lovely. We've done some other good stuff.
I don't get this.
Yeah. And this is our normal studio, by the way, which we'll fail to reference.
We actually went back home.
Yeah.
We renamed ourselves John Boy.
The thing that needs to be...
Which is a competitor brand.
The thing that needs to be understood, he's really worried about us. He's just said, boys, use the studio, I'm out of here. He's literally walked home to him. He's like, guys, he's real worried, mate.
It's
12:30
a.m. We've been up. We've done 45 shows in 3 days.
I'm about to miss my train. Can you guys turn the lights out? He was so accommodating. He's a lovely, lovely man. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
The thing that people need to understand,
Go on then.
and I know a lot of Indian fans will be watching because they're high off the win against Ireland, etc.
Big win.
But Glenn Maxwell comes in. He's in hopeless form.
That's the always.
Vis-a-vis RCB. He absolutely smokes one. He gets caught by a man.
Yeah. A watch model.
Yeah.
Wearing a fucking
Exactly.
or de Piget.
One of the great catches, and we should know his name, but this is a World Cup, so we reserve our right not to.
Brett.
When Maxwell gets out that way,
Caught by Brett.
Caught by, exactly. Bootsy, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Brett Bootsy.
Brett Bootsy.
Yep.
Collins. Brett Collins. B. Collins. 3s. 37. When he gets out like that, the immediate conclusion in Australia, and I'm sorry, India, is that he will be the player of the tournament.
Yeah, no,
Okay?
yeah, no, yeah.
And Maxi knows that, and Maxi's listening, and he knows.
Yeah.
He's like, wow, this is going to happen for me.
He's saving his runs.
And when Stoinis makes 66 red,
Yes.
that also means Papi's here to play.
Now, Pezza, black hatting this, when Stoinis came in, were you thinking that pigeons were being fluffed by cats or vice versa?
Well, of course, but that's a separate issue that I have.
At that issue, I thought Australia had 20 too many at sort of 67 for 4 or whatever it was.
I like it.
Were you nervous? I'm asking you, were you nervous?
The cameras were panning to the Australian team, and I thought the faces looked pensive.
Yeah.
And that's a problem given that this Australian team, as we've already called out, are pronouncing themselves under the captaincy of Mitch Marsh as the most relaxed team that has ever existed.
I think Cummins was doing the cryptic crossword and they were struggling for 5 down. That's what I think they were looking like that for. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you need to include 5 down in that. But anyway, but he puts on have you ever been in a friendship group at high school and you're like,
sorry.
neither,
Sorry.
but I watched others. I just sort of stood in the corner and
I played Sudoku.
I dreamt of medieval warfare with overweight women.
I've got 5 ogres.
Anyway,
Charlie's about to walk out, by the way. He's had enough. It's early.
Stoinis and Warner as a friendship, like friendship groups in high school, they put on 103. You don't see it often. Like Warner and Stoinis.
What are they talking about in the middle of the
What
wicket?
do they say?
What are they talking about?
say?
Yeah. This guy's
But
doing
they
this.
put
yeah.
Stoinis Bosches, whoever it is, for bulk sixes, and we're
sixes.
good to go, and we should be none for 500 again. He gets his cock out.
It was literally one over where you get 4 sixes in the over, I think it was. Yeah.
There is a moment towards the end. This is an actual detail from the game.
Okay, what happened?
Which someone else told me about.
Yeah,
But,
it was on Patreon.
He turns down a single in the last over with Tim David at the other end. Tim David being the specialist, 5-ball player.
Yeah, but you forget, Pezza, he played for Singapore, so that's
And
international force.
Stoinis is reminding me of that. Now, I know what that conversation is between those two.
Yeah. I'm good, mate.
Yeah,
That can go.
it's one rep max. It's whatever. Exactly.
Do you think this is like we are talking so blasé about this game?
That's
but
the idea.
Like, if Australians are tuning into this, thinking like, "Oh, boy, no, this is."
That's
It,
what
it was the perfect result.
exactly.
Oman flex
Reserving the
pre-game, middle of the game. Australia just like, okay, we're going to try now.
I know what happened in every ball of this game,
Yeah.
but I refuse to say it.
Okay, good.
Third thing, Maxwell already talked about him. Okay.
Were you happy when he got out? I kind of was.
Because
Like in the way that he got out,
Mate, big time.
Good catch. from
Because
Brett.
it extends the story. The more extreme it gets for Maxwell negatively,
Yes,
it will go the equal but opposite way.
exactly.
The Afghanistan innings happened. Sorry, guys.
He is so feast or famine
Yeah.
that the feast will come on my face.
You're referencing Abraham from the Old Testament.
As I
there.
often do, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Where are we at?
Okay, just finally, second innings, Oman. I'm just saying, all I want to say about this is Stark does what he does, and a couple of comments.
Joe Wilson played well.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Before Joel Wilson does what we all know he does.
Yeah, 3 points for me for Joel.
Just aesthetics, like watching Mitch Marsh be sensible about a review. Like
yeah.
so they review. Like
Yeah.
Stark hammers the poor bloke on the full who is
9-11.
still getting his backswing in the air.
Yes. Yes.
9-11, front
Yes.
pad blown off.
Right.
And first tower. But the camera goes to Mitch Marsh,
Yeah.
and he's actually being sensible. And that's a
Yeah.
new thing for Australian to deal with.
Are you okay with that?
I will take my time.
I
will
don't.
take
I
my
don't
time.
know if I'm there for him to
Yeah.
be in a serious moment. I see him as a vibesman,
Yes.
and that's the place that he exists. Now, I think that people are really excited to play underneath him and like be around the Mitch Marsh environment. But he's already created the environment. I don't know if he needs to be now. Yes, he may literally lead the side to another trophy, which we'll forget about because we can't find the channel.
Can you imagine if he did? And what that would mean,
I don't know
not just for Australian success, but also
Yeah.
the vibe around the success.
Yes, I am.
It's a Cummins Marsh
Yes.
axis.
Yes.
My God.
Finally, the bowler's winning something for us.
Now, we shouldn't be talking about that now. We should be talking about how the team should be disbanded.
Yes.
Because it's game one of the
Yes.
World Cup.
Pathetic effort. And only a 40-run win against, I don't know who they played against, but it was sort of bubblegum pink or something. I don't really catch
Whatever.
it. Yeah.
And then Akib is struck outside leg and missing leg. And the Australians barely appeal, and Joe Wilson gives it out
As a makeup.
As a makeup.
Yes, as is his want. Yes, well played.
And
well played.
just reiterating for good humanitarian reasons.
We must decide this. Yes,
that
he must be.
That is not a criticism. If you have anything about you in your life, all you can conclude from that sequence of Joel Wilson's 2 incorrect decisions is it must be the most amazing beer.
Good beer. It's got to
And
be
it is
good
welcome at any time, any place.
on this show.
On this show, on the channel,
Yes,
privately, publicly, in
one
the
of
bedroom.
the best
doesn't
beers.
matter.
It must be one of the
Must
best
be.
beers. Pezzo, when Australia made 160, whatever they made, I just knew that, like, okay, it wasn't a wicket for a team to bowl another side out. I thought Australia batted well, as they do.
They worked it out. They figured it
They
out.
just have better players, blah, 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 blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah.
I just felt like, okay, this is now going to drag on for 20 overs. And now I'm like, okay, is T10 the future? Is that the thing? Although, if I was in Australia at work right now, I'm thinking, you know what? Elongate this. If I can get a second screen up on my desk at work, if I have that sort of setup in the homestead or, in my home office or indeed at the office itself, then I want this to elongate so I can like keep an eye on it whilst I'm pretending to send emails. So that's good from a time zone perspective. We like that. But Oman were never in this at any point. It was a boring game. Nothing happened, but Australia too good. But at the same time, is elongation good for the people at home who we're presenting to? We're representing Pezza. Is that good? Is it?
Mate, there are so many competing economic needs going on at this World Cup. There's a couple of nations who are having the biggest cock off of all time. Yeah. And all Australia wants to do is like a Great Melbourne Cup, sit in fucking mid pack.
Yes.
At the halfway, 3/4 mark. I don't want...
Get yourself in the fourth.
I don't want anything out of this team.
No, good. Okay.
And it's...
Okay.
The biggest problem they've got is that once again they go into the tournament with everybody, and this hasn't happened for a little while, knowing that they win these things.
Yeah. That's true.
So I am upset if there isn't a stumble, okay? And that's what was wrong with this game.
Here's the thing, other big nations lose to smaller nations. Australia almost never loses these kind of games. Anyway, so there's that. Next.
Ask TGC.
Okay.
This is from Liverpool, 6058. So one of the first. Hashtag Ask TGC. How does cricket expect to grow new audiences when in being played exclusively on a cable network behind paywalls in the worst time zone for actual cricket playing nations? They have seriously dropped the ball with this one.
A bigger problem would be if more cricket was played for Australians in their time zone. They would pay more attention. Australia operates at their best when they wake up.
Exactly.
Oh, when's this played? Oh, is it a semi-final? Yeah. Oh, is it a final? Okay, now I'll watch. Exactly. And then they win those games. That's how it works in our society. And then we often win those things. Maybe not this time. Maybe we flunk out. I don't know. But I'm just telling you, it operates in our nation culturally. We wake up, we get our fucking penises out in a semi-final, and then we start fucking playing, okay? Yeah. That's how it works in Australia.
Thank you. Just think about tunnels. Think about penises in relation to the penises of other oppositions and the swinging and cock-off that goes on. And you will understand what cricket means to the nation. Now, can I also say to Liverpool, 6058, you may be referring to the Merseyside
could be
a region or...
I had trials of Liverpool. Depends what you mean.
Or Southwest Sydney, right? And it does change.
You'll never walk alone.
Thank you. This means
for safety
more.
in Southwest
This means
Sydney.
more. But do fans, in particular pedophilic YouTube commenters, need to be armchair administrators? I'm not saying everyone needs to be dumbed down and receive what's given to them, but just follow your team, Like, you don't have to sit there and go like, oh, maybe we can play it in different time zones and we'll put it behind this pale or whatever. You don't know about what that shit is.
Those people like it more than anyone else because it's hidden. They like it more. It's my thing. I've got 5 ogres.
And that is what happened with Australia versus Oman.
Okay, you know what? We've done our thing. It's very late in the morning in NYC. We've done a million things. Thank you, as always, for supporting TGC. If you've understood the tone of this show, then you're a fan. If you haven't, this one's going to hurt the channel. But hey, here we are. First game, Australia. Cock out stuff, okay?
And it's a World Cup. And Australia's played, and we've done a lot today.
Australia's done the thing they've always going to do. Okay, we're going to see you on the channel tomorrow. More stuff coming out.
Thanks, John Boy.
Thank you very much to John Boy. Hey, it's USA, Pakistan coming out tomorrow. Also an interview with our very dear friend. That's a secret at the moment.
Yeah.
But thank you as always for supporting TGC. And we're going to see you guys live from New York City real soon. See you tomorrow. Cheers.